Hello, I am Carl and I'm going to show you how to vignette with a curves layer. It is one of the easiest ways to apply a vignette with still a good amount of control over exactly how you want it. If you want to vignette with white, if you have a high key portrait and you want to vignette with a white paint, then you need to watch the other video on vignetting with a paint layer. But on this one we just vignette with the curves layer and it will only vignette dark, so that's the only drawback to this. But it is very easy to do. Now in CS4 and above you will have this adjustments area over here with all your adjustment layers. You just click on the curves and it gives you a curves layer above your background layer. On older versions you'll need to get it however you need to get it in that version, through a menu, or if you have a different program that you're using altogether, what you need to do is just get your curves layer. Now it comes with its own mask. That's what we need. If we just grab this upper right hand corner and pull down, you start darkening the entire photograph. Just keep it all the way to the right. If you venture over to the left, it starts getting ugly really quick. So keep it over to the right. Now you want to pull this down to where the darkest part of your picture, that's how dark you want it to be. In other words, we're darkening the edges. We still want to see some detail in the darker areas, so this is as far as I want to take it. It's personal preference really, but in vignetting what you're trying to do is simulate natural light fall off, and you still want to hold detail in the shadows. So we already have our mask selected. Let's go over and let's get a paintbrush. Let's drop down and we want to paint with black. If you paint with black you erase. If you paint with white you bring it back, kind of like a controlled undo. Now to make sure you have pure black and pure white, you want to click on these little boxes right there, and that will give you pure black and pure white. It puts white on the foreground, and the foreground is the color that you will be using, so we want to hit this little double arrow thing and that toggles those. So now we have black on the top, that's what we'll be using. We have our paintbrush and we want this opacity to be at 100%. Now it's already at 100%. You'll notice the cursor turned into a little hand with a double arrow. Anytime you see that, when you hover over a name like that, it means it's a scrubby slider, so you just click and hold and drag and you change the numbers. You don't have to go to the keyboard. Pretty slick. So we have 100% on our opacity, and we just want to paint and remove off of her face. Remove all this off her face. We've got that done. As I said before, you want to simulate natural light fall off, so we want to take our opacity down to around 30% or so, and that's not chipped in stone, it's however you want it. That's at 33, that's close enough. And we just start painting. Just click and paint, and start removing the vignette till we get it to where we like it. If you're working on a competition print, you really have to work at simulating natural light fall off. If you're doing it for yourself, you can do anything you want. Now let's say that I removed too much down here in the bottom left hand corner. We go over here, we toggle that, so we're painting with white, which puts it back. So we're putting it back at 30%, 33% I guess. Now I've gotten it too dark, so we switch it back and start removing it again. And just click and paint like a madman until you're happy. And that looks pretty cool. I like that, just like it is. Now you can go over here and you can adjust this up and down if you want it lighter, darker, however you want it. As long as you keep that adjustment layer on there, you can make your change. Now in Photoshop you have an eyeball by each layer. If you can see the eyeball, you can see the layer. If you can't see the eyeball, you can't see the layer. So let's click the eyeball, make that go away, and we can't see the layer. So that's what it looks like without the vignette. That's what it looks like with a vignette. Totally changes the mood of a photograph. As you can see, the darker areas force your eyes into the brighter areas, which is her face, and that's what you want. And that's as simple as it gets.